and boys and assembled company. It is one of those special moments when we have. She's got Debra Weller as her name, but I know she is really Mrs. Sunshine Santa. And that is because while I have been up in the snow, she has been in Florida in the sunshine. So, well, yes, and I'm not sure what it's like in Washington, D.C., Bubba C. But it's chilly. It's chilly. So how is it in the sunshine in Florida?
Well, I am visiting in the sunshine in Florida right now because I needed a little break from the chaos at the North Pole.
Yes, and I know exactly how you feel.
You know how it is, Santa? So well, it is just a little visit today, but I will be going back tonight. The sleigh will come and pick me up so that I can get prepared.
Yeah, because you've got a lot to do in the next 24 hours.
Oh, yes. I'm just having a short visit with a cousin down here.
Well, that's very nice. Now, I'm just going to mute myself and hand over to you because it is your show. If I might have to pop out to my sleigh for a moment.
It's okay, Santa. I understand. You're very, very busy right now, just like I'm having this very short break, but I'll be back in time to make dinner.
And Bubba C is a co-host as well, so
Hi,
Bubba
C
can undoubtedly let people into the room if necessary.
Yes.
You've been wonderful this week, Bubba C. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is mine.
Right. So over to you, Mrs. Sunshine Santa Claus.
See you later, Santa.
See you. Bye.
With all these clauses around, I might need a sanity clause.
Be careful not to tear it off the contract at the
end. Well, this is going to be fun. Go jingle some bells, John Rowe.
Yes. Farewell, Santa. See you later as we get prepared for our busiest day of the year. Be well. See you soon. Oh, I'm delighted to join you today. Yes, I have been visiting in warm places because I had lots of children to go out and visit, and even adults. Yes, even the grown-ups have invited me to come and visit. But you see, today I am with you right now, and I am so excited to be here on the World Storytelling Cafe to bring you stories and songs from the North Pole. It is a delightful time. Christmas is coming, the geese are getting fat. Please to put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, then a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. Christmas comes but once a year, and when it comes, it brings good cheer. God bless the master of this house and the mistress also, and all the little children or elves that round the table go, and all your kins and kinsmen that dwell both far and near. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well, let me explain what's been going on at the North Pole. You might be wondering, right? Well, it's been our most busy week of all. We've had all the final arrangements to do. Wrapping paper to wrap presents and bows, finishing all the little details on the various toys, making sure who's on the nice list and who's on the naughty list. And we're hoping you're all on the nice list by now, with Christmas being so close. Oh, Baba, are you on the nice list too? Yes, it's been confirmed. You are on the nice list. Now, here's some tips on how to be on that nice list. First of all, for my little children friends, we do not talk back to mummies and daddies. We treat our mummies and daddies with respect. Now, sometimes I know we get a little angry, especially with our brothers and sisters, right? And so the rule we have, even that happens at the North Pole with the elves. And our rule is, it's okay to be angry, but don't hit, don't bite, no shoving, no pushing. take a little break, take a deep breath, and come back when you're ready. And that always helps out. Another thing that we've been doing at the North Pole, I've been baking cookies. Do you like cookies? Because, oh, you do, Baba C. I love cookies too. And Santa has some favorite cookies that he likes to bake. And that will be my first story today. Oh, look at this. Oh, Baba C, I know that you would like to take a bite out of it, but I'm going to tell you about the gingerbread boy at the North Pole. Now, we all know sometimes the fate of the gingerbread boy is not good for the gingerbread boy, but always good for those who get a chance to take a bite. Well, just the other day, Santa came to me. I said, Santa, what's your favorite cookie? And he said, oh, Mrs. Sunshine Claus, could we please make a gingerbread? And I said, oh, that's awesome. Let's do it. So we went into the kitchen. Now, you might also want to pretend you're in the kitchen with us. The kitchen at the North Pole is giant and big because that's where we do all the baking and making the candy canes and the fudge, all the good things and the cakes for Christmas. So we got out a big bowl. And into that bowl, we cracked 1 egg, put in some butter, 3 cups of flour, 1, 2, 3, 1 cup of brown sugar, put that in. Then we had to add some wonderful spices like ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. So let's shake those in and pretend to shake them in because that's what Santa and I did. And then we needed the stickiest ingredients of all. It's not syrup, but it's called molasses. And it's sticky and it's gooey. And so you have to scrape it out of the jar so it goes into the bowl. Now let's go ahead and stir that up about 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, hooray. It looks just perfect. It's a beautiful golden brown dough. That's exactly what it needs to be to make gingerbread. Just like this one, it wants to be nice and brown even after baking. And so it is. Santa and I said, Santa, help me pick up the dough. And he did. And we put it onto the table. And we got what's called a rolling pin. And we rolled it this way and that way and this way and that way. Rolling pins make the dough just about that thick. And then it was time to cut out the gingerbread man. And Santa said, oh, this is going to be so much fun. So let's draw that gingerbread on the dough. We need a head and a neck. We need some arms with little thumbs and mittened hands. And we need the arms to go up, a torso going down, some feet, and going up again. What shall we put for the eyes? I know. I'm thinking about some chocolate drops for the eyes. Oh, you like that, Baba C? Let's put the chocolate drops on. What about the nose? How about a peppermint candy for the nose? I'll unwrap it and put it there. And what about the buttons? How about some M&Ms that are all different colors? Let's put 5 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Santa, I said, it's about time to put it in the oven. Are you ready? And so we put it in the oven at the North Pole. But I reminded Santa about something. I said, Santa, you may not open the oven and check on the gingerbread. I am going to do some chores. And do not open it until the bell goes off. Oh, I won't open it. I've got way much to do. So I went off to do some of my chores, as I always have chores at the North Pole for sure. And so it was that Santa was sitting down in his chair checking out the naughty and nice list.
Oh, look at that one. Oh, this one finally got on the nice list. I'm so excited.
But while Santa was checking the naughty and nice list, and while I was doing my chores, the smell of that cookie came right to his nose. Oh, I've got to go check on that cookie. And so it was, even against my warning, Santa went into the kitchen. He went over to the stove. He opened the stove to take a peek. I'll just take a little peek. But when he did, out jumped the gingerbread man. And he started running around the kitchen. And that's about when I came in. Oh, yes. And he was dancing in the kitchen, and Santa was just shocked.
Oh, look, Mrs. Smalls, I don't know what to do now.
Oh, gingerbread, stop. But that little gingerbread started saying, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And he ran out the door. And Santa and I were shouting, stop, stop. Maybe you want to say it too. Stop, stop. But that gingerbread ran as fast as he could. Oh, yes, he ran right outside the door. And he saw Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And Rudolph smelled the gingerbread boy, and he said, oh, gingerbread, I'd like to eat you up. And that gingerbread just looked at him and said, no, no, no. I ran away from Mrs. Claus. I ran away from Santa. And I can run away from you. I can. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And we started running too, right with Rudolph, Santa, and I. And that gingerbread ran and ran and ran until he came to Frosty the snowman. And Frosty the snowman, with his corncob pipe and his button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal, saw that delicious little gingerbread cookie. And he said,
come a little closer. I'd like to eat you up.
And the gingerbread said, no, no, no. I ran away from Santa. I ran away from Mrs. Santa Claus. I ran away from Rudolph, and I can run away from you. I can. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And that gingerbread ran even further. And then he came to one of our elves. And our elf said, stop. I'm hungry. I want to eat you up, gingerbread. And gingerbread said, no, no, no. I ran away from Mrs. Santa Claus. I ran away from Santa. Ran away from Rudolph. I ran away from Frosty the snowman. And I can run away from you. I can. And he did. He started running again with all of us running after him. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And he ran and ran until he came to the wide, brimming river that wasn't frozen over yet. And the gingerbread got worried. Oh, no. The cookie, and if I go in the water, I'm gonna get all mushy and yucky. What are we gonna do? Well, Santa and I and Rudolph and Frosty the snowman and the elf were almost caught up to him at the river's edge. But out from behind a bush came an Arctic fox. And the Arctic fox said, "Hey, gingerbread dude, what's your problem?" "Oh, I'm gonna get all mushy if I go in the water and they're all coming after me. Can you help me, Mr. Fox? Can you help me, Mr. Fox? Please, please, please." I suppose I could help you. What you'll need to do, I could go across that river, but you'll have to jump on my tail. "Oh, okay, I'll jump on your tail. Help me, help me, help me." So the gingerbread jumped onto that fox's tail, and the fox leaped into the river and paddled. Can you paddle like a fox? He was paddling, and about halfway across, the water seemed to be getting deeper. And Gingerbread said, "Oh, Arctic Fox, you gotta save me. The water's getting deeper and I'm gonna turn to mush." "Well, then the only solution is if you climb between my fox ears, and there you'll be safe." Well, Gingerbread did. He climbed right between the fox's ears. And they finished paddling, but Santa and Rudolph and Frosty and the elf and we were all there on the edge of the river just watching this scene and worried indeed as to what would be the outcome. I'm wondering if you're thinking about what's going to happen next. Well, the fox climbed up on the edge of the river bank, and he smelled the gingerbread with his snout. And when he did, he flipped his head back, opened wide his snout, and the gingerbread went right inside. Clip, clap, clout. Now that tale is all told out, and the dear fox had a smile on his foxy face.
That was so good. I'm so happy to have had that gingerbread cookie.
But on the other side of the river, we were not happy. But I got an idea. I said, "Everyone, please come back to the kitchen. We can make some more gingerbread. I have all the ingredients."
And Santa said, "Oh, what a good idea, Mrs. Sunshine, Santa Claus. You always bring sunshine wherever you go."
Well, let's all go back. And we did. And again, we got out the bowl, we mixed the dough, but this time we made little smaller cookies so that we could grab them in a second. And no one opened the oven door too soon. And that is the Gingerbread Christmas, written and improvised by Mrs. Sunshine Santa Claus. Now, you listened so well to my story, but I would like to know if you know the names of all 8 reindeer who pull Santa's sleigh. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, there's more than 8. Well, actually, at the North Pole, we have herds of reindeer. That means groups of reindeer, hundreds of them. They live in a reindeer family. But we look for the ones that we are going to train to pull the sleigh. And a long, long time ago, a very famous man named Mr. Clement Moore, he wrote a beautiful poem called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And that's when the reindeer got some names. And you're probably wondering, wait a minute. What about Rudolph, the most famous reindeer of all? Well, he came about a bit later, around 1939. He appeared in a book, and then a man named Gene Autry decided to write a song about Rudolph. And that's when he became the most famous reindeer of all. So what do reindeer eat? Well, we keep them on special diets. Sometimes they eat lichen, and they all have their reindeer antlers, even the girls. And we train them all to be strong. And of course, the baby reindeer are born in the spring after their herd migrates. But now I want to teach you the reindeer Macarena. Can you imagine that? Put your hands out like this, and we're going to learn the names of the 8 reindeer and always our friend Rudolph. So here it goes. It's always better to do this standing up, but right now I'm doing it with you. So here it goes. Reindeer Macarena, oh the reindeer Macarena. Reindeer Macarena, oh the reindeer Macarena. Here we go. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid. Now touch your hips. Donner and Blitzen, and then shake it out. There was Rudolph. Let's try it one more time. Oh, the reindeer Macarena, oh, the reindeer Macarena, oh, the reindeer Macarena. Then there was Rudolph. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. And then there was Rudolph. Oh, practice that a few times. You can surprise your family. But let's sing about that most famous reindeer of all. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, yippee! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You'll go down in history. Oh, have you ever wondered what we put on the reindeer's beautiful pads that they wear when they go out on the sleigh? Beautiful bells, silver bells. I sew them on all of the reindeer saddles. And do you know what these bells say? They say, believe. Because we all need to believe in the magic of Christmas. Now, to be on that nice list, we need to do kind things for other people and not always be thinking about our gimmies. Gimme, gimme, gimme. This is what I want. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Because when we can do secret little kindnesses like make the bed for your brother and surprise him, sweep the kitchen floor for mommy and daddy. And you know what? You can play games with your younger brothers and sisters too, without being asked. Without being asked is the magic word. Now, some of you might be wondering, how does Santa get into a house that doesn't have any chimneys? Have you ever wondered that? Yes, Baba C, because we know people live in all different kinds of houses, right? Some live in tall skyscraper buildings. Some live in mud huts. Some live in apartment houses, some live in single houses. So wherever people live in the world, they might not have a chimney, but Santa knows that he will come and visit all the children because he has a magic key. And this magic key can open any door everywhere in the world. So he doesn't have to go down the chimney. In fact, kind of like it when he doesn't have to go down the chimney. Then I do not have to clean the soot off of his suits. So it's quite nice when he uses this. Well, I'm thinking about another song. Can you think what it might be? It could be Jingle Bells. Oh, Baba C knows Jingle Bells. Let's see if you can sing it with me. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, oh, thanks for singing with me. I enjoy it. And now it's time for one of Santa's favorite stories. And it's also a favorite story of the elves because there's elves in this story. So let's get that story ready. Every night at the North Pole, we all gather at the end of the day, and I tell stories. Santa tells them too, and the elves have their favorite stories. So we have a story circle, and we sing songs too. So it's wonderful how we get to do that. Maybe in your house, you'd like to have a story circle before you go to bed at night. Now we are boys so fine to see, we need no longer cobblers be. A long, long time ago, in a little village, there lived a shoemaker and his wife. The shoemaker would make shoes for everyone. And those shoes were wonderful. But one year, it was a rough year. They couldn't have any leather. And the shoemaker tried to buy the leather, but he couldn't find it. So he and his wife had very meager food to eat.
Well, dear, you know, this is my last piece of leather. And I hope that I can take that leather, cut it out, and put it into shoes. So tonight, after we eat our bread and our broth, I will go into the workshop.
Oh dear, I see that you're going to do that, said his wife. They went into the workshop, and when they did, he cut out the leather, and you can cut it out too. Let's cut the shape of a shoe. And he cut the main part of the sole and the side pieces, and he laid it on the workbench.
I'll get it in the morning.
So they went to sleep. Well, the very next morning when the shoemaker came in,
Oh, look! Oh, made overnight, and I didn't make them. Who made them?
Oh dear, do you think elves might have come in and made the shoes for you?
I don't know, but it's magical.
Well, the shoemaker brought those shoes into his shop, and a beautiful lady came by, and she said, "Shoemaker, I'd like some new shoes." And she tried on those shoes, and they fit perfectly. And she paid the shoemaker twice the usual price. So he was able to find another 2 pieces of leather and to bring home some bread and some sausage for dinner. His wife cooked up the sausage. They put the butter on the bread. They ate their meal. Then they both went down into the workshop that night.
Dear, I'm going to cut it out.
So we cut out the shapes for 2 pair of shoes. We need to hide in the closet to see who is the person who is helping us. And they hid in the closet. And at midnight, help me count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Into the workshop came little elves. They whispered, it was elves after all. They watched through the closet door. The little elves jumped up onto the table, and they stitched and sewed until 2 pairs of shoes were made. And they jumped down and went out into the night. The shoemaker and his wife were astonished. Oh, did you see it was little elves? Look at this. They make the finest shoes of all. But did you notice their clothes were all tattered and torn? How about if we make them some new clothes for Christmas? I'll make them some shoes and a little hat and a vest. Let's get to it. And the very next day, that's exactly what they did. The shoemaker made some tiny little shoes for the elves, and the shoemaker's wife knitted some stockings, sewed some little white shirts, and the shoemaker made some leather pants and some leather vest. He took the shoes that they had made into his shop, and a gentleman came in and said, those are the most perfect shoes of all. I'll pay you twice the usual price. And he did. And on Christmas Eve, the shoemaker was able to get some meat and some potatoes to have for their Christmas Eve meal. He brought it to his wife and said, it was a very good day indeed. We've been so blessed. They ate their Christmas Eve meal and saved a little for Christmas Day. Then they went downstairs and they laid out 2 green leather hats, 2 green vests, 2 pair of pants, 1 white shirt, 1 white stocking, and they hid in the closet again. At midnight, the elves came in and they jumped up and they were a little amazed. Wait, there's no shoes to make. What are we going to do? Oh, are these clothes for us? They're just our size. So they tore off their old torn clothes and they quickly put on the shirts and the pants and the vest and the hats and the shoes, and they began to dance around. Now we are boys so fine to see, we need no longer cobblers be. Now we are boys so fine to see, we need no longer cobblers be. And they danced and they danced, and the shoemaker and his wife were still quiet. They didn't want to scare them away, but they got so much pleasure watching them dance through the slats in the door. And then as they went out the door, the shoemaker and his wife were joyful. Ah, They were so happy to get their new clothes. The shoemaker and his wife had the blessings of the elves, and every year around Christmas they'd come back and they'd have new clothes and shoes for them each year. And from that day to this one, the shoemaker and his wife never had to worry about where their food was coming from after the kindness they showed to the elves. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Stay on the nice list. Oh, I'm so glad to have been able to visit you today from the North Pole.
Whoa, that was truly amazing.
Why, thank you, Santa John.
And you'll be up in the cold again tomorrow, won't you?
Oh yes,
Because-
of course I'm coming
Because
back.
we've got a lot of sacks to fill. And the elves do very well, but they don't do so well without your supervision.
You know, that's my job at the North Pole, to be the CEO and to make sure everything runs smoothly. So you only have to worry about going out and giving
Now,
the
all
gifts.
I have to do is ride the ultimate boys' toy, which is a flying reindeer.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, well, they don't even tell me where they are until Christmas Eve, because otherwise I wouldn't see anyone else. I'd just be flying around. It's,
That's right. Well, you know, they have special GPS on their little bells and on their beautiful mats.
mm-hmm. Well, it has been utterly modernized in terms of people can trace me. I can't even hide anymore.
I know, Santa, but isn't it great because the children all over the world can be in anticipation of when you're going to be coming?
Absolutely. And while we're in anticipation, could I anticipate what's coming up on the World Storytelling Cafe?
Please
Oh,
do.
please do.
Well, tomorrow
Yes.
at 10 o'clock a.m. UK time, which is, it's okay, Bubba C, you don't have to be around then. We are starting our 10-hour marathon, Storytelling for Peace. And never has, well, there's always, I say never as there's been a time, but there's always a time when peace is needed. I can't actually remember a time when peace wasn't required. But we've got various hosts. Paul Waleed is going to sit there at the controls for 10 hours. So anyone else in the cafe gives him, you know, a continuous supply of mint tea, I think, and whatever cold drinks they can send up to him at the controls. Don't
some
make him
gingerbread
come
man.
down for them.
Oh, my Santa John, keep that coffin handy. Remember those nice little cough drops I made for you.
Yeah. I've got them. I've got them in the pocket. But and then so that's going on from 10 in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening. I think Bubba C himself is the host for the last 2 hours, from 6 till 7. There's
Yes, I
various
am.
hosts for today. Just Name is being a host in one of the second the second bit in the morning, for which I think will be from 12, but I'm not sure. I haven't got the list in front of me. And then, of course, and then Tuesday, we will always, because Tuesday is always our young tellers. And then I haven't the faintest idea of what's happening after that. I think the first show in the new year, the first Friday in the new year will be Despina from Greece.
Ooh, special.
Yes. But don't hold me to that. But I'm absolutely convinced that she is the first Friday in January. But meanwhile, all of you, who whatever you are celebrating, whether it's Christmas or anything else,
Kwanzaa.
Kawanza, yes.
well, yes, Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I gave that as a prompt for Babasi because I just like him when he says it. It just sounds so much better. Kwanzaa. Well, so Christmas, Kwanzaa, or whatever you're celebrating, have yourselves a wonderful, and whether it's solstice, we've just been through solstice, and in fact, in the northern hemisphere, people generally celebrated from November till the end of January because it was between crops and there was nothing to do except celebrate life. And it's only with the coming of industrialization that it got short. But that's another story altogether. But meanwhile, have yourselves a wonderful time. Come visit us. If you're a teller, come visit us tomorrow. It is open to everyone. There'll be space for everyone. There's 10 hours of storytelling there. So please visit us. Meanwhile, Deborah or Mrs. Christmas, Mrs. Sunshine Santa, Sunshine Santa, Santa Claus. Thank you very much for popping down to your cousins today and giving our best to Florida. And then and I will see you after Christmas sometime when I recommend a rest after you've done all that stuff with the elves.
Oh, yes. And you too, Santa John, you know, we're going to go someplace warm to take a little break and then we can restore.
I think Marrakesh is really nice in February.
Yes,
I'll see you there
Between the
in
12th
February.
and the 19th of February.
Here comes Marrakesh. Here comes Marrakesh.
At the moment, I'm in the most fantastic restaurant in Western Supermare that looks after me very well. It's the Boulevard Thai restaurant. So I'm on Thai food today. As being Santa Claus, I like to sample the foods of the world.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
Meanwhile, Kwanzaa, Christmas, solstice, have a
Happy
good one.
Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.
See you in the new year, if not before.
Thank you, Waleed. See you in all in the well, yeah, I won't see you tomorrow, Babasi,
Yes.
because you aren't going to be up at the time when I'm around.
I might,
tomorrow.
who knows?
You might well be. I know your habits, or rather, I don't know your habits because you're a man of no habits.
A few hobbits, but no habits, and maybe a hobby.
Okay, bye all.
Take
you.
care,
Merry
everybody.
Bye.
Happy holiday. Happy New
Thank you,
Year.
Wally.
Thank you, Sunshine Claus.
Thank you.
Thank you, John Claus. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Santa Claus. Waleed,
Yeah.
take us out.